Saints are chasing Championship starlet Che Adams, and it finally appears we're ready to ramp up the offers. But before we get into the news, and once again this video is sponsored by OneFootball. Do make sure you check out the excellent free OneFootball app to be kept up to date with all of the latest transfer happenings and to be first to know. Also check it out for all of your live scores and match stats, all in the OneFootball app. Check it out by clicking the link in the description below this episode. So it's been widely reported then earlier on this year, around January time, we were in for the Birmingham City centre forward Che Adams, but we didn't quite capture his signature in January, partly because at the time Birmingham were transfer embargoed and it was probably impossible to replace him at the time. So I've held out on this story until it's gained some more traction and some more substance, and it finally appears there is some substance to the stories right now. And it appears reported that Saints are ready to ramp up the offers. Initially we've tabled £10 million, £12 million, and they've been rejected. But right now, Birmingham, it appears, are willing to listen to offers of around 14 million. Now, it's unlikely that he will go for that eventual fee. Birmingham apparently are holding out for around 20 million, but it's probable Saints will want to go for that standard price now, that 16 million pounds for his signature. Now, of course, it was widely agreed amongst the fan base earlier on when we done our end of season reviews. And at the end of the season, we all said, let's buy a striker. And it appears that Che Adams could be Ralph's #1 target. So for some context for you then, Che Adams scored 22 goals for Birmingham City in their championship last season, eventually winning the player and goal of the season for the Blues. So of course, they won't want to let him go so easily. It's also become a little bit more complicated recently as Birmingham have just parted company with their manager, Gary Monk, previously played for Saints a few times in the 1990s. And it's also been reported that Sheffield United are due a 20% sell-on fee. So there's certainly some value there. Now, of course, Sheffield, now one of our Premier League rivals, promoted last season. But Blues, if you're watching, I've got a question for you. Do you negotiate your manager first, get your replacement for Gary Monk, or do you hold out for the highest fee for Che Adams? So let me know in the comments. But for those at home, the Saints fans, I hear some of you have been crying for us to break the bank, but it's not going to happen, guys. Ralph has admitted that in, I suppose, in uncertain terms in some press interviews recently. And his criteria for the transfer window is for young, fit, hungry players willing to prove themselves in the Premier League. Young being those that are under 24, so he can then also develop them. And it does appear Che Adams, of course, fits that bill. 22 years old, within budget, and like I say, appears to be Ralph's #1 target. But just imagine that next season then, Nathan Redmond, Moussa Djenepo on either side of the pitch, bursting down those flanks, feeding Che Adams. Hopefully he can replicate some of those wonderful goals he scored for Birmingham last season. And he's the type of striker, a typically British, brutish centre forward, got some strength, got some pace to him, and really quite hungry to get on the ball and put that ball in the back of the net. Something that we really are dying for. Someone that can also regularly stay fit. So just imagine that next season. Ideal, right? Djenepo, Redmond, Adams, that front three. So there you go. Then that is my quick report. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's see how this develops in the coming days. So also, Blues, if you're watching, is there anyone else that can give us a little bit more intel on Che Adams? So for now, thanks for watching. Check back in a few days, hopefully when Saints have secured their second signing of the summer.